welcome to Devati Modi Public School. This is your subject science of class 4th, and today we are going to study about chapter 11, force, work and energy. So, what is force? A push or pull that can move a stationary object or that can stop a moving object is called force. Means when we push any object or when we pull any object, it changes its position. So that is force. The pushing and pulling of an object is the force. And when a moving object stops by something, that is also a force. Okay. So what is the effect of force? A force can move a stationary object. A stationary object means the object placed at a position and we are moving the object, it changes the position. A force can change the direction of motion, means a force can change the direction also of any object. If any object is moving into the left side and we force it, we apply force on it, it can change the direction to the right side. Means a force can change the direction also. A force can change the shape and size of the object. Example, if we press the ball is in the form of is in the shape of circle, and when we in the shape of sphere, when we press the ball, its shapes changes. Like this spring also, when we press the spring, it contracts, and when we leave the spring, it again expands. So it can change the shape and size of the object also. Now there are two types of forces. The one is the gravitational force, the other one is the frictional force. So what is gravitational force? Gravitational force or the gravity is the force that attract object to the center of the earth. There is a word gravity or gravitational force. So both are having same meaning. We can say gravity or we can say gravitational force. Though the force of the earth, the force of attraction of the earth is known as the gravitational force. When we throw any ball in upward direction, it comes down always. So it means when we throw any object in upward direction, that object comes down toward the earth. Means the object attract toward the earth. So there is something which attract the object in the towards the earth. So that force is known as the gravitational force of the earth. Here is a story of Sir Isaac Newton. He was the first scientist to study about the gravity and force. According to his story, he was in the garden when he saw an apple falling from a tree. He began to wonder why the apple had fallen to the earth instead of just floating away. He came up with the idea that some unseen force must attract the apple towards the earth. He named that force gravity. So he found that the apple always falls down to the earth. It never floats away. So why it happens? So he researched on it and he called that force gravity. So the force of the earth is the gravitational force. Now the other one is friction or frictional force. When two things rub against or slide over each other is called friction. Example, when we rub the hands, they get warm. So on rubbing the hands, there is some friction. So that is the frictional force. In the other figure, the boy is pushing the box or table, we can say whatever it is. We can take any object. So the boy is pushing the object it's moving in the direction opposite direction, and the friction is in the opposite direction of the motion. A heavy object offers more friction. If there is a heavy object, the friction will be more. If the object is a light weight, the friction will be less. So when the boy moves the object, so then the friction is in the opposite direction of the motion. Okay, what is work? Now work is said to be done when a force acts on an object, it moves it some distance. Work is said to be done when a force acts on an object to move it to some distance. Means, if we say that we are sitting and listening to the teacher and we have done lot of work, so what I say, that you have not done anything. Okay, because there is no work, you are just listening something. So if you are writing, if you say I'm writing on the pen, so there is no work. On the notebook with the pen, so there is no work. Okay, if you are sitting with the pen, there is no work. If you are writing with the pen, that is the work. Work is done on pressing a ball. If I'm having one ball on in my hand and I'm not doing anything with the ball, so there is no work. If I'm pressing the ball, I'm throwing the ball, there is a work. Okay, in other example, work is done only when an object is moved by a distance. Means, what we say ki there is work when the object is moving from one place to another, it covers some distance, the object covers some distance, then we can say there is a work. So what is work? Work is the force multiplied by distance covered by the object. Work is the multiplication of force and distance. How much force we are putting on the object and how much distance the objects cover. Okay, now there are some simple machines which makes a simple machines are the machines which makes our work easy. So the first is inclined plane, lever, wheel and axle, wedge, pulley, screw, gear. So lever means like scissor, inclined plane, slides, wheel and axle like bicycle. Wheels are there, motorcycles, bicycles, cars. Wedge like X, a knife. Okay, they sharp at one end. They are sharp at one end. Pulley, we are withdrawing the water from the well. Okay, screw, the screws which helps the objects to put together, assemble the objects. Gear like in your uh, cars, motorbikes, so there are some gears in your toy cars also. So these are some simple machines which makes our work easier. Now what is energy? The ability to do work is called energy. The work which we do needs some energy. Okay, without energy we are not able to do the work, so that is called energy. We put something to do work, that is we need something to do work. What we need energy to do work. So there are two types of energy. The first is potential energy and the second is kinetic energy. Potential energy means the energy of an object due to its position is called potential energy. Kinetic energy, the energy of an object due to its motion is called kinetic energy. Potential energy means the energy of an object due to its position. Like holding a ball is an example of potential energy. When we hold something, there is a potential energy in the object. Bending your knees, like doing exercise before you jump. Okay, and kinetic energy means the energy of an object due to its motion. Due to the movement of object, there is energy. That energy is known as kinetic energy, like throwing the ball, jumping, running, flowing water. So these are the examples of kinetic energy. There are some sources, more sources of energy, like sun energy, natural sources, we can say sun energy, wind energy, water energy. Okay, sun energy means solar energy, which we get from sun, wind energy, which we get from wind, and hydro energy, or which we get from water. Like from sun, the energy which we get from the sun is called solar energy, and we use the solar energy to generate electricity. Wind energy, we get wind energy from wind, like windmills, and windmills use kinetic energy of wind to produce electricity. Water energy we get from water is called hydro energy. Hydro means water. So hydro energy, and it is used to generate hydroelectricity. Okay, the energy which we get from water is hydro energy, and hydro energy is used to generate hydroelectricity. Like in dams, dam uses the energy of flowing water. Okay, so this is all about force, work, and energy. Thank you.